Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to play some 60 seconds. We're going to go ahead and do a fresh new run with Apocalypse because I'll show you real quick. We are almost done with all the achievements, finally. I think we have 6 left. Alright, and one of those is going to be to... Oh wait, hang on. We want to do survival because Fat Man right here, this difficulty, we need it in all 3 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt Fat Man today and see if we can't get it knocked out. Tricky part about this one is you don't get to do the 60-second run. You have to just survive with whatever's in the bunker. So it could be anything. Could be anything. Hopefully it's something good so we can get like the government escape or the survival escape, which we've got the radio and we've got the map. So honestly, I think going for the government escape might be the best option. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it down here. We can make it work down here. Remember, sorry, it's a little early. It's like 6 something in the morning for me. So I gotta kind of wake my brain up a little bit. We can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans. We'll sleep from cans. Some of us we'll even talk to cans. Some of us already do. There's barely enough water for everyone. We will have to ration it strictly. Alright, so the first day is always good because we can... Or the first bit is always good because we can wait till day 5 before we have to give them any water, and day 10 before we got to give them food and water. We should probably do a couple of expeditions just to start it off with, and then just purely focus on the radio. 1 minute it was all fine, and the next we were at each other's throats. How did this happen? This is insane. We need to get a grip on ourselves if we're going to survive this. Let's just sleep on it. There's also a couple of achievements that I need, like Cuckoo's Nest. That one is getting everybody to go crazy. Which I assume, and I'm not for sure, I assume it's easier to do on a higher difficulty. Just people going crazy. But, I don't know. So, we stopped arguing, but for how long? Alright, let's take a look. Nobody needs anything. We need to do an expedition. We gotta get something in the beginning. The dreadful silence is becoming boring, and like every happy model family, we don't have that many things to talk about. Is there anything we can do about it? Anything at all? I don't think this is like the government one, but sometimes when we listen to the radio, it lets us go out and get stuff. So I may do it, but there's also the risk of the radio breaks, which would be not fun. So, alright, radio's fine. Radio is fine. Ah, how fortunate we took the radio with us. We could probably listen to some music. They still play music out there, don't they? Alright, nobody should need anything. We're just going to send one of the kids. And we'll send them with the checker pieces. Because checker pieces can bring you extra food. Each item you take gives you a chance to bring something, to get something extra. So, Timmy went to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. We don't need to give anybody anything until tomorrow. Good news, everyone. The government just announced they will be dropping crates filled with supplies in our area. Finally, they are useful for something. We should head out and get those crates as soon as possible. Grabbing some protection gear might not be a bad idea. Good deal. So we got the gas mask and that event. So that's going to help us. That's crazy good, actually. Oh, wow. 2 of each. The airdrop crate we found wasn't exactly huge, but it contained a few supplies that will definitely help us. We were especially happy to find some water bottles and food cans. For a minute, we thought it was canned meat, but then we found out it was tomato soup. Our theory is that this whole country used to run on tomatoes and no one suspected a thing. Alright, we need to give everybody water, because, yeah, if you look on the 5th day, that's when they become dehydrated. And then on the 10th day, they'll be both dehydrated and hunger, or starvation, so... the trash can is becoming full of empty soup cans, and that unmentionable bucket is overflowing. Both of them are attracting strangely glowing, suspicious big insect wildlife. Roaches weren't that big before the war, were they? Now, the thing is, this is the event that we need to get the this roach achievement. But the roach achievement, for some reason, is extremely hard, and I don't want to last that long doing this. So I'm just going to kill them off, starting now. But because it can get everybody sick. is what happens. Like, everybody can get sick, and it becomes just like really difficult. It makes the game a little bit harder. We dodged a bullet this time. That is, if the bullet was a huge, hairy, and had eight legs and a glowing head. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with them again. All right, we don't need to do anything. What's that trickling sound? And why is the wall so wet? Are we about to get flooded? We don't have. Oh no. This is like the worst one you can get. We'll keep the map because without the radio, we can still get the phone ringing and do the survivors. What that means, we need to hope that the checkerboard comes back so that we can use that for the survivalist camp. Because typically, usually it's like the kids need something to play with at the new campground or whatever. Well, that was lucky. The shelter filled with water pretty rapidly, and we were certain we were going to drown with our heads barely above the water. We weren't able to open the hatch and escape. Before we could start considering the worst, the water level started to drop. We're fine, save for the mess we need to deal with. So we lost the radio. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll be okay. Yeah. This is... Alright. It's high time we stopped wondering about what's going on and started asking questions, or at least listen to some reasonable answers. So how about tuning to a radio station and learning a thing or two about the brave new world? That sucks. Alright. Hopefully we can get a radio back, but I don't know. Alright, I think we got a good run. Wait, did we... Yeah, we still got the checkerboard, so we need to save it for now. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without a clue of what's going on might not necessarily kill us. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. Theater means actors, and where you find actors, you can easily run into mimes. And so we approached the theater on our tiptoes, but in the end we decided our need for supplies was greater than our fear of mimes, so we bravely went in to explore. This must have been a boring play if the only props being used were bottles. The scene was practically filled with them. Thankfully, some held water in them. We half expected the theater cafeteria to be a sorry state. Surprisingly, the atomic blast spared most of it, and we were able to admire their section of foods. It was very vivid, small, medium, or large cans of tomato soup. We felt large cans were meant for us. When we were passing through the ruins of a bar, we ran into a soup vending machine. We couldn't find any spare change, so we decided to try prying checker pieces. It worked. We spotted some sort of vehicle just down the street, but we couldn't get good enough look at it in the dark. Maybe future expeditions will prove more fruitful. Honestly, we have a lot of food and water. I don't think we need to do expedition. So yeah. It has been more and more difficult to breathe in the shelter over the last couple of hours. We suspect there is something wrong with the ventilation. Maybe got stuck somehow? But how? We need to investigate, and we might suffocate. We'll go ahead and investigate with the book, I guess. Because regardless, bugs are going to fly out. Okay, so. Using the handbook to research vent maintenance seemed like a fair idea. We figured if it's full of pointers on how to fix things, it must have a chapter on nuclear shelter, air filtration systems. Air filtration systems. Before we could even check, we were invaded by a group of angry mutant insects which flew out of that cursed vent. Their stings hurt like heck and seemed to give us a fever. Okay, so it's just the daughter that's sick, which is, I guess, fine. Day 9, so tomorrow we'll need to feed and water everybody. Honestly, if one of the kids go, that wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too bad. It'd probably help us a little bit. Okay, we're on day 10, so we need to give everybody food and water because they should all be, yep, dehydration, starvation. Yep. We'll skip that. We don't have the radio. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we have to leave eventually. It would be good to head straight to safety instead of getting ourselves into more trouble, if that's even possible in this situation. Our hope is that our brave soldiers will come to rescue us and take us to a well-hidden, well-stocked government shelter. Timmy had comics about those, so you know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. Alright, so we're not doing that. I think... I don't know. I don't know what the best route is. I think either the payphone or getting the cat. If we get the payphone before the cat, we'll just focus on that. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Okay, everybody should be fine. He's hungry, starvation. So give the mom some food tomorrow. When we opened the bunker door this morning to let some fresh radioactive air, we discovered a small suitcase on the doorstep. There was no note on it, and the neighborhood seems pretty empty. Should we take a look inside? Yeah, let's go for it. We already got one sick person. Why not risk it? And it's the dad. Innocent looking bottle of water, so we took a sip. We thought we got lucky, but it was a lie. Either that water was irradiated, or it was some kind of biological weapon. It made us all feel pretty sick. That's fine, as long as we can keep the mom and the son healthy. That's our goal. We'll focus on the mom and the son. What's that glowing in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants. Their terrifying little mandibles almost gave Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out. But Timmy says at the beginning of the atomic ant farm, one of them has to have their way. But who? We'll pick the mom. Always. We don't need ants. On the topic of atomic ant farms, Dolores put her foot down several times. She swatted and stomped furiously with a look of glee on her face until all the insects were dealt with. Timmy was mortified. Alright, we gotta feed the mom. We'll feed the boy. And we'll feed the dad. Trader alert. Timmy's salvaged comic books. Timmy's salvaged comic books are mostly harmless science fiction pulp. However, some of them don't feature the brave Astro Citizen program astronauts, but cosmonauts. That boy is eating up Soviet propaganda. What a disgrace. Should we banish Timmy to the wasteland for his traitorous ways and dispose of the blasphemous comics? No. Give him a chance. He's just a boy. Okay. We graciously allowed Timmy to stay in the shelter despite his actions. We believe the power of rehabilitation and second chances. Also, we're running out of toilet paper, and those propaganda books will do nicely. What do we have? Dehydration. Both. Okay, let's just do all of them real quick. Alert! There's a gang of firefighters outside, or at least they are dressed like ones. They've been banging on the door, ordering us to surrender all of our supplies. They claim they will drive us out with fire if we don't comply. I guess the definition of firefighter has somewhat changed recently. How do we oppose them? Use the lock. Okay, here's the phone call. We gotta just hope. Well, to be honest, I mean, we got the checkerboard, we got the map. I think it'll be enough. I don't know. We didn't think that small padlock would stop them, but it turned out to be enough to discourage the unknown attackers. It seems that they gave this whole break-in a fair shot, but ultimately gave up and left. Too bad that padlock is in no shape to be used again. We need to think of other ways to fight off bandits and other soup-hungry barbarians. Hungry, 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 hungry. We're going to send the mom. Oh, I should have read that, sorry. Basically, a phone was ringing across the street. And we sent the mom to answer it. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town or Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they'll get back to us soon. Hungry, hungry, hungry. Okay. Alright, we got a trader. A traveling salesman paid us a visit today. He introduced himself as Willie. Apparently, business can do well even after the end of the world. Honestly, I don't want to trade either of these. Well, I mean, maybe the gas mask. I don't think we really need it. But do we really need the food? I mean, potentially. honestly, we're running pretty high on this stuff. Like, we got quite a bit of stuff. As long as we can just ration it out, we should be fine. Which, for the dad and the daughter, I think I'm going to start being a little bit more, stingy. But, let's keep the gas mask just in case we get an event that needs it. There's a couple. Alright, that salesman was very friendly, but he didn't have anything that was of interest to us. Hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty. We keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little bunker. You know, I'm going to send the dad out. Or we could start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Who would have thought the Reds would ruin such a lovely neighborhood? We could do it on our own. The escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. However, there might be someone out there that can help us. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. Well, I'll send the daughter first. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcasts that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. First option sounds a bit more sane. Alright. She's got both. Pretty much all of them. The only ones I'm going to give it to are these. And then I'm going to send the daughter out with nothing. And we'll give the father food tomorrow, I guess. Maybe even the day after if he'll survive. I don't know if he will, though. Yeah, we'll wait one more day for him to get food and water. Our sorry excuse for dinner was interrupted by a raspy voice coming from outside saying, "Wanna buy a rock?" We calmed down when we realized the voice belonged to Old Man Jim, who used to live in our town. Well, at least we think he did. We just never quite figured out where he stayed. We should probably answer his question. It's impolite to keep people waiting like that. Yes, we will buy a rock. Alright, the dad died. That's okay. We opened the door and greeted an old man with a smile. He was eager to show us his bag filled with a rich choice of rocks and convinced us to take one for free, for old time's sake. We agreed, carefully chose the best looking rock, and the man left. We can't complain, it's a good rock. Really. Also, he claimed it brings us luck. We'll see about that. Okay, so that'll save us on some food and water. A stranger pushing a rusty wheelbarrow filled with all kinds of goods stopped by today. He claimed he's a trader looking for barter for items he requires. Yeah, we'll trade the book. We'll trade the book because we do need water. We're a little bit lower on water than we are on food. So we'll do that to kind of even that out. After making the trade, the man packed his things into a wheelbarrow and departed. Before leaving, he uttered something about bandit activity nearby and how dangerous the area is. Okay, they're both just hungry and thirsty. We always steered away from casinos, gambling dens, and the like, so when a man came to our door and told us he used to be a gambler, we were suspicious. He invited us to play a game. He proposed two water bottle bet, and a card game of our choice. I don't have any cards. I don't know if I'd do it either way, because we haven't had the best of luck on that. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set for the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting them like that. We'd sooner rob somebody. We sent that man away. Good riddance. Good riddance. Alright, dehydration, and he's both. So tomorrow we need water and both. It's hard being down here, living here. We need to make the best of it, or else we might find ourselves in even more trouble. Okay. It's easy to feel a bit down when living underground like this. No sunshine, no sky. We need to get rid of that pessimism and try to bring some carefulness into our life, or some cheerfulness in our lives. Okay, so she needed this, he needed this, and we need to give her food tomorrow. Sleazy looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. Just for one can of soup, we get the bags and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside. And the trader gives us an angry glances every time we take a step towards the mystery bag. Should we make the deal? This is the cat. I kind of want to. The only thing that's difficult about this is by the time we get the events to actually make the escape with it, we need 4 cans of soup. Will we have 4 cans of soup? And it already cost us 1. And the cat tries to eat 1 or something like that, I believe. Plus, I can't remember the quickest way to do it, because it's like, there's 2 escapes. There's one where it's these VIP guys, and then there's another where it's the scientist. I know the scientist takes 4 food. I forget what the VIP one is. It's like you have to take somebody and send them with them, and they end up getting sick and all that stuff. We don't want to do that one. We want to do the science one. But it's like, can we ignore the wire to get to the science one? I don't know. I honestly just don't want the cat. I can't work my brain enough to do it. And we're already working on the kid survival village thing. So hopefully they show up soon and we can speed that up. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage without whatever junk is in that mysterious bag. Okay, and she was starvation. We can keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little shelter, or we can start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Who would have thought that the Reds would have ruined such a lovely neighborhood? We can do it on our own. The escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. However, there might be someone out there who can help us. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. Hopefully we get the knock on the door from them soon. Alright, what all did she get? If there was one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch an emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that or the strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. The nearby docks housed some fancy-looking boats. One of them managed to survive the tidal wave caused by the atomic blast. Well, kinda. It landed on our neighbor's house. It looked worth checking out. We found a few soup cans in the yacht's cargo hold. It seems like rich people like soup too. Soup is great. We love soup. Soup. Since the ocean is pretty salty, keeping a supply of drinkable water on board was a pretty reasonable precaution to take. Now it's reasonable for us to take it all with us. The vehicle down the street looks like a work in progress. We observed it from afar. Who could the owner be? We kept our distance for some time being, but we may want to take a closer look in the future. This could potentially be our ticket out of here. Alright, let's see. Starvation. Hungry, tired, sick. She needs to be fed tomorrow. A young lady, all dressed in white, has visited us today, requesting our aid, wasting no time. She laid out a plan of what she said is a bandit camp where she claims her twin brother is being held. Seems like the young man was witness enough to challenge the biggest bandit leader in the sword fight, and now his sister is very worried. She says we definitely won't regret it if we decide to help her. Man, is this the one where we have to give a medkit? I really hope not, because we don't have that. The women quickly called a group of friends, and they set out for what turned out to be a successful mission. Finding the lost twin brother wasn't a problem. He was hanging atop some antenna next to the fence trying to escape. In his duel with the bandit leader, he lost a hand, but the group quickly tended to his injuries, and he'll be just fine. The siblings thanked us and handed 100 times and said they would definitely contact us again. Aren't there any drugs we can get? Oh, I don't care about Mary Jane. Starvation. Starvation. Mary Jane has been awful silent today. She is which is very unlike her. Should we try talking to her? Sure. Keep her chin up, you know. It's okay, Mary Jane. We'll get through this. Nothing solves problems better than an honest conversation over a hot beverage. We don't have the latter, but talking alone seems to do the trick. Dehydration tomorrow. We'll give her both. Dehydration tomorrow. We've always wanted to throw a party with a huge cake. For some reason, it never worked. One time, we were promised a great cake, and it turned out it was a lie. That was a disappointment. We weren't glad. We're definitely getting a cake when the radioactive clouds are gone. Bless you. Okay. Let's just leave all those questions be for now. Okay, she's dehydrated. We'll just give her that. And he is dehydrated. We'll just give him that. It is very difficult to prepare for unforeseen consequences when you don't see them coming. Well, they are unforeseen by definition, so that does make a lot of sense. We can't say we're prepared for what happened. Bless you. Bum 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 bum. Living in the past is not wise in our current situation. We need to think of today and tomorrow. Alright, everybody seems fine. Mary Jane insists she doesn't feel complete without her musical instrument. If she hit it well, maybe her tuba is still safe somewhere in the ruins of her house. A reminder of her hobbies and what life used to be might cheer her up a bit, make the situation easier for her. Should we let her go out for a quick look around the house? Yes. Yes, 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 because she could potentially bring some stuff back. Mary Jane got very excited when we agreed to let her look around for her tuba. She said if she can't find the instrument, she'll settle for anything else she can find, like some sheet music. We sure hope the tuba didn't make it. We're pretty sure we prefer radio static, or even the sweet sound of silence. Okay, fatigued and hungry, fatigued and hungry. Our ammunition is missing. There's no way it was stolen, so it has to be here somewhere. We need to find it. I don't have a flashlight. What did we get? Nothing. It was too dark to find those tiny bullets without a flashlight. They aren't lost, technically. They're still in the shelter, technically. Nothing made us happier than seeing the sight of Mary Jane returning from to the shelter from the surface. Starvation and starvation. So we'll give some food to both of them tomorrow. Alright, this is the same one we've read a few times. Just needing to use the radio. Alright, it's just about the radio. So we'll give food, and tomorrow give them water. Let me check Mary Jane at least. Yeah, she's fine. Mary Jane has been caught sneaking out under cover of the night and Dolores was furious when Mary Jane revealed she was going on a date with some bandit boy. She met him during an expedition. Mary Jane asked for a chance to contact her date via written note to apologize for not showing up. Yeah, go ahead, Mary Jane. Go meet up. Go meet up with him. And she got hurt. Okay. Dolores agreed that an apology note would be polite in these circumstances. Mary Jane wrote one and dropped it off, but came back red-faced and furious. She saw that bandit boy outside holding hands with some bandit girl. Mary Jane was so hurt, even Dolores took her side. Okay. We'll just give them both, and we'll just give her both. That's fine. We had the most curious visitors today. One of them was making the sound of a galloping horse using a pair of rocks and hitting them against each other. While his companion was pretending to ride said horse, they claimed to be a very important quest to seek some magical cup. Only they lost their way in the wasteland. They asked permission to have a quick look at our map to determine their whereabouts. Sure thing. Monty Python reference. I love it. Alright. They seemed friendly enough, so we let them have a look at our camp. They thanked us and offered us some supplies in exchange. We graciously accepted and wished them luck on their quest. Timmy is not doing great. It would be good to talk to him and cheer him up. Sure thing. Alright, let's see. Even a word or two may be enough to brighten someone's mood. Timmy seems to be better now. Happy for you, Timmy. Super duper happy. The siblings are back, just like they promised, and they're asking for our help. Their group is too big to fit where they currently reside, so they want to build a small camp nearby. They could really use someone with able hands and an axe to work on the house construction. Yes, yes, send the axe. Good deal. At least it's something we have. We got a few splinters, but the work is done. We even had some fun. It was almost like building that treehouse in our backyard all over again. The group and their leaders appreciated our help and said they would definitely let us know when the whole thing is finished, so we can come and visit them. Oh, we should check people. Alright, yeah, they're all good. Yesterday, during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and it has left Dolores quite disappointed. She insists on home, or rather, shelter schooling Mary Jane a little. Yes. Doing this could fix the radio, I hope. Because then we can start that one, but it didn't. That's okay. Our only hope is the camp with the twins. Dolores does not mess around. What started out as a spelling exercise has quickly found its way to the math revision, followed by a short physics course and ending on tinkering with random objects in the shelter. Mary Jane looks exhausted, but we can't deny the state of our shelter has improved today. Dehydrated, dehydrated, and dehydrated. So give them all water tomorrow. We saw something strange on our way back from the expedition, a chain of lights in the horizon pulsing and flashing in a chaotic manner. It didn't make much sense to us at the time, but when we discussed it in the shelter, Timmy said that it might be a secret scout signal. He would need to check out the signal by himself and decode it using the scout book. We do not have it anymore. We traded it. We traded it for goods and necessities. We have doubts about it being a legitimate signal from the real scouts. We're not risking walking into a bandit trap. Better just forget that we saw anything. Okay, it was dehydration. Dehydration and dehydration. Tomorrow we can get food. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we'll have to leave eventually. It would be good to head straight towards safety instead of getting ourselves into more trouble, if that's even possible in this situation. Our hope is that the brave soldiers will come to rescue us and take us to some well-hidden, well-stocked government shelter. Timmy had comics about those, so you know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. What if I could? Bless you. Dun, dun, dun. If there was one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch an emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. Alright, we needed food, food, and food. She is about to die. When conducting our daily supply count, we noticed that a soup can was missing. We're absolutely sure it was there just yesterday. That can only mean one thing. We have a soup thief among us. Now we just need to figure out who the culprit is. We'll go ahead and blame Mary Jane. Why not? I usually don't blame anybody, but let's blame somebody. See if it helps. Oh, we're never blaming anybody ever again. You know what you did last night, Mary Jane, and we're so disappointed in you, young lady. We didn't raise you to be a nasty soup thief. Okay. Food. 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 We're running a little bit low. We're not alone. There's a huge hairy bunny beast that seems to be hiding in one of these pipes. It's been poking its head out, eyeing our measly food stash. We can't let it get out. We can't let it be in here when we fall asleep. Alright, hit it with the axe. Give him a good old smack in the noggin. Our cans are saved. Too bad the hairy mutant. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're on top of the food chain. Good for us. So Mary Jane... Alright. Mary Jane's injuries were enough to make her angry at us, or at least at the fact that we decided not to do anything about them. When we got up and found a note from her claiming she deserves better, and that she had left for Canada because it has a better public healthcare system. Alright, let's see. We have plenty of distant relatives, but none of them mean as much to us as Auntie Ada. She lives in the country, so there's a good chance she's still configuring her cow counting machine and not worrying about nukes raining down on her hen house. Too bad we don't have a photo of her, or do we? We put some photos into books a while ago after a giant coffee spill incident. There's a knock at the door. There's a knock at the door. And so we are left with no photos, no news, and no happy thoughts. The world is too cruel. Oh wait, check them just in case. We've only got 2, so we got to be careful. We got plenty of water. We should be able to make it. We were admiring the radioactive landscape when we saw a young woman dressed in ragged camo clothing. She had a nasty looking rifle, but she held in a polite enough manner. She claims to be a hunter tracking a big mutated spider. She ran out of ammo and told us that if we were to help her out, she would pay us back in a while. Yeah, give her the ammo. Nothing good we can do with it aside from traders or giving it to her. I believe she gives us food. Not too sure. She could have hurt us, but she didn't. That counts for something, so we rewarded her with a spare ammo. Let's see if she keeps her word. Fatigued and hungry. We don't want the cat, and that's what this is. Plus, we need all the food we can keep right now. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage without whatever junk is in that mysterious bag. Okay, they're both at hungry. Another military. We just need the twins to show back up. Okay, knock at the door. That may be the twins, I hope. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to check the radio. Yep, I'm sure. Okay, they're both at starvation, so feed them tomorrow. The friendly survivor group is back, and this time with some good news. They succeeded in building a small, cozy camp. People are starting to move in, and between them are quite a few children. Some of these kids get in trouble way too often, getting lost between the ruins while playing tag. The group is looking for any toys or games that would help keep the kids safe and entertained. That's why we kept the checker set. Good deal. Good deal. Even playing with an incomplete set of checkers is a better choice for these kids than playing hide and seek in the radioactive wasteland. Or maybe the other way around. The group was grateful, and we're sure their children will be too. We hope to see our friends soon again and find out more about their new campfire. Just go ahead and give them both. We just need them to survive. We were discussing plans for our first meal that didn't feature tomato soup when we heard yells outside. We discovered they came from a small group of ragged survivors. They were in a sorry sight, and we weren't surprised that they requested aid. They asked us to provide anything we could, water, food, or medical supplies. Let's give them a water. Another knock at the door. The visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed. Smiles and hugs exchanged, and they wished all of us the best. It's a great feeling to help someone out. They left soon after, seeking shelter in the ruins of our town. We hope they make it out there. Starvation. Starvation. We had a chance to meet a strange person today. He looked like a human, except triple the amount of hands necessary. We listened to a story about groups of folks just like him who are having a hard time scavenging supplies because of their appearance. People shoot first and ask questions later. He offered us a deal. If we share some of our supplies with them, they will help us on our next expedition. If this was the protect with a raid, I probably would go for it. But we don't really need this. Let's just skim past it. Be alright. Save our supplies. Alright, no matter how many spare hands these people have and how friendly they are, we simply cannot spare the supplies. We need to take care of our own. The man was disappointed, but he understood. Timmy noticed his old telescope in a pile of rubble on the other side of the street. He got really excited about stargazing again. After all, the night sky is one of the very few things that still look about the same after the blast. Should we let Timmy go out and stare pointlessly at the sky? Sure. Why not? We still got the axe to defend ourselves, so hopefully he can find something on his way back. Don't think he did. Timmy returned in the morning, tired but very happy. He says he saw a spaceship flying by, one with an American flag on it. Surely that can't be true. He's probably making things up. Time to grow up, Timmy. Our situation's getting worse every day. We can see the hunger and desperation in each other's eyes. We do know a teacher from the local school rescued a bunch of kids when the bomb fell. We know what kind of supplies are in the school shelter. As part of the community, we help stock it for emergencies. So technically they're ours, right? Should we reclaim them in our hour of need? No. I don't need anybody going crazy. The mom is sick, so we need to just tough it out and get through this. We're no bandits, sure, we need supplies, but not at the cost of others. We don't want to bother these people. A man who takes a tomato soup from another is not worthy to taste that soup. Let's just hope that everybody else out there is as decent as our family. Okay, dehydrated. Dehydrated, let's just give it to him. We don't have anything for this. The cupboards in the shelter was a bit shaky, so we pulled it out to give it a new home. In the process, we discovered a secret door. Where does it lead? No idea, but let's find out. Or not. Bless you. Alright, let's see. Some things are better left untouched and unknown. Whatever is behind that door will have to stay there. We also stacked some furniture against it, just to be sure nothing and no one comes for them. Alright. This is about the government. We don't care about that. Okay, knock at the door. Good deal. I hope this is them. I think it might be. What does anybody need? Starvation. Starvation. We'll go ahead and give that to him. Wasteland is full of surprises, like this man on the other side of the door looking and claiming that he's willing to offer a lot for decent ammunition. We don't have it. Okay, we got another knock at the door. Any second now. Any day now. Open the name of freedom, came a shout from outside the door. We were sure who claimed to be representing freedom, but we could hear it was a group of people, probably armed. Anyone who introduces themselves like that is probably planning to kill someone in the name of freedom. Should we open it? We don't have much, and this may be the ones who give us a weapon, but it also might be bandits. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, good deal. We regretted opening the door the minute we saw what was standing on the other side. Dark faces, rifles, determined. Looks like a band of teenagers. We're doomed, we thought. Then out of the blue, one of them asked us if we were with the Reds. We've never supported the Red Sox, so we confidently said that we weren't. The tension dropped immediately, and those nice young people who gave us 2 bottles of water also said they told us to have no fear, since Wolverines are around. We're not sure what Wolverines have to do with all this, but we took their word for it. Good deal. We got some stuff. Let's celebrate by drinking water. The coded note was left on a doorstep. It's all symbols and numbers, some sort of cipher that will need to be cracked before we can read the letter. Dolores seems eager for this challenge. However, it's hard to tell how long this could take her. Could prove to be a waste of her time. Yeah, go ahead. Let's crack the code, Dolores. I believe in you. Knock at the door. Dolores instantly sat down with the code and started working on it with a purpose. She looked very focused. Let's hope the note is worth staying up all night. Dolores looks very tired already. Okay, they don't need anything. Someone is at the door. We can't hear what they're saying, but they've been banging on it like crazy. Maybe it's good news. Maybe it's bad news. We should open the door. Yes, we should. Yes! Win a game in every mode on Fat Man difficulty. We got another achievement finished finally. Little Boy and Fat Man are officially done. Oh, good stretch in. Now we just need to do the Sara Bomber. And that's we got to do that on Survival and Apocalypse. That is so good. We were ecstatic when our friends came over today to officially invite us to their new camp. The siblings said that they are incredibly grateful for all the help and assistance we provided. They claim the whole thing wouldn't be possible without us. They swear they already made a separate house for us, all furnished and with some of our own supplies. And there are plenty of families waiting to meet us there. We can't wait to be between people again. Maybe the world isn't as bad as it looks. We can't wait to start our new, more peaceful and normal life. Goodbye, little shelter. You have been a home for a long time, but today it's time to move on and the future is looking really bright. Good deal. It only took us, what, 56 days? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Alright. Now, if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. It's not a catchphrase. It actually does help the channel. If you're not ready to subscribe, liking the video and leaving a comment really does help. And, I hope you had a good day. Hope tomorrow's even better. And I'll see you here next time. Goodbye.